the day is finally here. I'm not gonna lie, I watched a little bit of it, haven't watched the entire thing. NHL 26 Be a Pro Deep Dive is finally here. We got 3 minutes to go over what is new in Be a Pro, and if it's only 3 minutes, I don't know how I feel about that. But there's also apparently some deep dive on their website, a whole lot more information. We will also get into that as well. But for now, enough yapping. We're gonna get right into it. The NHL 26 Be a Pro Deep Dive, something we've been waiting for so long.
What's going on, everybody? Craig McMorris here. I am psyched that EA Sports has invited me to get into the nitty-gritty about Be a Pro in NHL 26. Who better do that with than North Vancouver's very own Macklin Celebrini. I get to talk about Be a Pro, which hasn't seen an update like this in some time. All new presentation elements, refreshed storylines, characters, challenges, and consequences. That means every decision you make will impact your career as you try to go from rookie to superstar. With more on that, let's go to Mike Engelhardt.
New Stanley Cup.
We know you all
Sully,
love some good old pricey pond hockey, but it was due time for a refresh. One of the big updates to Be a Pro in NHL 26 is in its presentation. There are a grip of new cutscenes and cinematics, along with all new voice actors, which really elevate the mode and story at large.
Hey, congrats on making the roster. This is a huge accomplishment.
From a new World Juniors trophy ceremony sequence, cinematics of the moment.
I'm gonna pause it right here, just this one time. Do not, I'm sorry, do not get NHL players. Honestly, the only one you should get is probably Schaefer, because he's the only player that I see right now with some sort of personality. And the players in this game right now don't have the personality. I'm going to take that back. That sounds like I'm judging. They don't have the experience of being a voice actor, so maybe we shouldn't do that. Maybe we shouldn't do that. Continue.
The moment you get drafted, your first time in an NHL dressing room, all new tunnel walkouts, to celebrating with the Stanley Cup in that dressing room. These new visuals immerse you in the drama and storytelling of a superstar NHL journey. One of the new additions we're really excited about are the new media scrums, where, depending on how you play, you'll either get your flowers or get grilled. And every response you give comes with consequences and affects how your player will grow. We heard the community, and we took action. Be a Pro in NHL 26 is a completely reimagined experience that begins with an all-new chapter-based core game loop, which brings about more stakes and immediate, impactful consequences to your actions in-game. Now, your story begins in the semifinals of the World Juniors, where you create your character, ends in the semifinal consequences to your actions in-game. Now, your story begins in the semifinals of the World Juniors.
Begins in the semifinals, a late addition. Okay, I'm not gonna complain too much because first of all, the menu, everything looks the same. We're not gonna care about the menu, but also, why are we being a late call? I guess that is kind of like that is a very cool storyline. Again, like, you know, there's an injury and you have to be a late call up, and then you could change the whole course of your career. I'm just now thinking about it. Oh, this is why you think before you speak, ladies and gentlemen. Getting down to the nitty-gritty, we're just going to assume that somebody got injured, they need somebody to call up, and now you're here to make your mark and, you know, make most of the opportunity. Wait, hold on. Oh, never mind, I was tripping. Thought I saw something else. All right, enough. Back into it.
Where you create your character, pick your nation, and your performance dictates your NHL draft positioning. From there, immerse yourself in the emotion of the draft and your first NHL game as you dive into your rookie year, the chase for the cup, and, if you can pull it off, a Hall of Fame worthy career.
Once I was dressed and everything, I was just so excited to start playing. I still remember going out for the rookie lap, looking around the arena, like it was kind of like a moment where it hit me.
What we wanted to make sure we foregrounded in Be a Pro was the emotion of the pro hockey journey, both the highs and the lows, and that comes through in how you carry yourself off the ice, in front of the media, and in your performances on the ice. Each has consequences, big and small, that impact your playthrough. To that end, your performance affects your progression from chapter to chapter. Play well and get bumped up to the starting line, and bask in the adoration of the fans and the media. Underperform, and you'll stay put on the bench, face pointed questions from the press, tough talks with management, and even a trip down to the AHL.
Thank you.
This degree of self-determination adds an incredible amount of substance. And just like a pro hockey career,
okay, we're just gonna let it
you'll
finish.
feel the pressure. Will you fold or shine?
Thank you, finally, EA. We already knew this in the deep dive as well, or earlier in one of their press releases, but you can get down to the AHL. You can get sent down to the AHL, which is something we've been needing because just like there's no challenge. You can score, or else like everything made no sense. You can score 70 goals, 80 assists. Next thing you know, your coach is going to say, we need more from you out there, but you're still in the first line and nothing happens. Like it wasn't good. Finally, there is going to be consequences for simming games. Back in the old, like NHL 14 or Live the Life, if you sim the game, there's a simulation penalty. If you're simming games, it's basically like you're skipping the games, and you get sent down for that as well. So hopefully that's a thing, because I love that's a good feature. It makes you play the games, or if I see in here, they have grudge matches for your Be a Pro games. So maybe, there's a choice to only play important games. We'll see. We don't know all that yet, but we will see. There is also more stuff on their website that I also want to talk and go over, because it seems like they do an even deeper dive on there. And I will put the link in the description if you want to see it. For whatever reason, it never brings me to the American version of EA, of NHL. It brings me to fucking Sweden or whatever. Anyways, here's what they said for their NHL 26 Be a Pro deep dive. Be a Pro has always been about putting yourself in the skates of a future NHL star. In NHL 26, that vision comes to life with a brand new presentation package, a redesigned core structure, meaningful storylines, and a stronger emphasis on choices, consequences, and emotional highs and lows. Whether you're lighted up on the ice or managing the pressure off of it, your decisions matter more than ever. Let's dig in. Let's lock in here, Shtummyy. I can't really read right now. And right now they start off first with community feedback. More meaningful moments, less filler. The days of sitting through endless repetitive small talk are over. We have replaced that with scenes and choices that matter, including branching conversations with your coach, impactful media scrums, and pivotal moments in your career that change based on how you perform. Every interaction has a purpose, either moving your story forward or shaping how your player is seen in the hockey world. We will see how different all of these conversations are after the first season. If I'm seeing the same questions in season 2, we're gonna have a problem. See, this is again why I agree with 2K. You have your main story in the very beginning. Your first season, you have a first season cinematic story. The second of it, just play the game. I don't want to see the same questions. I don't. Playing in the minors. For the first time in years, you can now be sent down to the AHL. If your play slips, you may find yourself back in the minors. Your career path is no longer locked to a straight line from draft to stardom. Thank you, EA. Finally, I'm glad they said for the first time in years, not for the first time ever. That would have pissed me off if they said that. World Juniors as your launch pad. Before you ever step onto NHL ice, you will put on your country's colors and compete in the World Juniors. A clutch goal in the Gold Game medal could push you up the draft board, while a poor performance might have you sweating on draft night. I do like it. I agree with it. It's a mix. I feel like that right there, that topic, that's completely opinionated. You could think it's cool to be a late addition and try and work your way up, or you might want to literally start from the very first game and work your way from there. Completely opinionated. Either way, the storyline itself is much better than what we were working with before. Fucking pricey pond hockey. Bigger, better presentation moments. The emotional payoffs now match the grind it takes to get there. From walking through the tunnel with the roar of the crowd behind you to hoisting the trophies at every level, including the World Juniors, the NHL, and even the AHL, these sequences are designed to make you feel every ounce of those career milestones. Goodbye, pricey pond hockey. We know you all love some pricey pond hockey, but it's time to say farewell. Fuck you, EA. Fucking bitches. Now we're gonna get in here and talk about the new presentation. Be a Pro has always been about the journey. In NHL 26, that journey feels more personal and engaging than ever with a complete presentation overhaul. This year adds a full library of new cutscenes and in-game cinematics that immerse you in the highs and lows of a pro hockey career. You guys better have some, all this hype. Katie, I'm not gonna say whether this year, I'm not gonna say whether I'm excited or I'm not excited. I'm a little excited for Be a Pro, but I will get the trial and we will see. We will see. I'm not going to say anything else. From your very first moments on the ice to the day you hang up your skates, these moments are built to make each milestone feel like an event. Highlights include World Juniors trophy celebration and flag raising that capture the pride of winning on the national stage, from hoisting the trophy to standing on the blue line as your team's flag is raised in victory. Your NHL draft moment, bringing all the emotion of finally making it to the league. Your first time walking into an NHL locker room, seeing your stall for the first time and feeling like you belong. Tunnel walkouts that bring the goosebump-worthy anticipation of game night to life. AHL trophy celebration, giving every level of your career its own payoff. That's pretty cool. If they have a different celebration, well, here, Stanley Cup celebration followed by a new locker room celebration after the team photo. Now that's pretty cool. We finally have somewhat of a new Stanley Cup celebration. Now, will this Stanley Cup celebration happen in the locker room for like GM mode or like franchise mode, like stuff like that? That would be pretty cool if it does, and if it's not just hooked to be a pro. Retirement ceremony that gives your final game the send-off it deserves. That'd be pretty cool if you can choose to retire before the season ends, but you have to finish off the season, and then they know when your final home game is. That'd be pretty cool. These sequences help anchor each phase of your career in NHL 26. They create moments you'll remember, and more importantly, they reflect the pressure and pride that come with life in the NHL. A standout addition this year is a new media scrum system. These scenes put you in front of the reporters where your answers actually shape your path. Deliver a strong performance and the media might give you your flowers. Struggle and you'll be grilled with tough questions that reflect how things are going. The goal here is to give players more than just stats and objectives. Now you're living the full experience of what it means to be a pro. On the ice, in the locker room, and under the media spotlight. Oh, baby. And then we have our reimagined hub. The Be a Pro hub has been completely reimagined to keep you connected to your career and the league around you. It is your command center for everything that shapes your journey. Now, if you look over here, I am going to put this on the screen. We obviously have our top headlines on the right, your form score, whatever a form score could be. I'm guessing that's how well, performance, I'm an idiot. Your schedule down here, and you can obviously see which ones are grudge matches and which ones aren't. You can see previously how much performance score you gained or lost on your previous games. Your challenges: move up to line 3, humble, advance to game 24, maintain 75 form score, get 16 shots on goal. Okay, this is really cool. So if the challenges are literally just to move up to line 3, and then you have to complete all these challenges, and like, this is perfect. Playing 24 games in the NHL before being moved up to line 3, it makes a whole lot of sense. Unless you are a first pick draft pick, I don't care what I'm saying. You have to work your way up. It's just how it goes. Then you obviously got your play next game, send to end of chapter, sim game, send to end of chapter. What's this chapter? There's a whole lot of stuff going on. Obviously, you have your headline grudge match, known as Cronwall seeks win versus Los Angeles Kings. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of excited for to be a pro. I'm kind of excited. I see that thing in the bottom. If you see it right here in the bottom, Cronwall, the NHL, the little stat thing at the bottom. If the only time I see that is when I hear Cybulski. If I hear James Cybulski this year, I'm gonna lose my shit. At least we got rid of pricey pond hockey. Cybulski, he's got to be the next one to go. He has to. Challenges at a glance. See your active chapter challenges, track your progress, and know exactly what you need to do next. These goals help guide your path and give each stretch of the season purpose. Now we have our top headlines. Stay plugged into the top stories revolving around your career. Form score, a clear, easy-to-read measure of how well you are playing. Your form score reflects on your recent performance and can influence your time, opportunities, and reputation. The redesigned hub keeps the focus on your growth as a player while making it easy to follow the bigger picture of your career. And as we scroll down, we're getting our answer of what chapters are going on. So we have a chapter-based structure. NHL 26 introduces a new chapter-based core structure that completely redefines the pace, flow, and stakes of Be a Pro. Your career is now broken into distinct chapters, each with its own challenges, goals, and consequences that reflect the real ups and downs of professional hockey. It all begins at the World Juniors, where you create your player, choose your nation, and compete in the semifinal and then potentially play for the World Juniors Gold. Your performance in this opening chapter sets the tone for everything that follows, directly impacting your draft stock. And I'm seeing now that you can't play a full season of CHL, which, unless they put in there and they didn't tell us, and it's going to be a surprise, but that's going to be kind of unfortunate. I don't personally think it's that hard of a thing to put into a game. But again, it's whatever. We're getting our changes to Be a Pro. I'm happy. I'm very happy. From there, you move into a series of story-driven chapters, including the NHL Draft, where your fate is revealed and your pro career begins. Preseason battles, where you fight for a roster spot and can be sent down to the AHL if you do not make the cut. Rookie season progression, with opportunities for line promotions, or if you play poorly, healthy scratches, and even a trip to the AHL. Mid-season challenges, including brand-building decisions, personal development, and on-ice performance tests. The playoff pushes and cup chases that demand peak performance in high-pressure situations. Every chapter comes with tailored challenges and branching choices that make your career feel alive. NHL 26 does not give you a static, guaranteed path. You will have to earn every step forward, and how you handle each chapter will define the player you become. There's a lot of reading. My mouth keeps getting dry. I'm struggling right now. What separates NHL 26 from past Be a Pro modes is how much your decisions matter. This year, every performance and off-ice action has direct consequences. The game keeps track of how you play, how you handle the media, how you spend your energy, and how you interact with key figures like your coach, GM, and agent. Alright, well, I'm holding you to it. Your on-ice performance plays a critical part in your story. If you dominate, you will earn more ice time, build stronger chemistry, and see your career fast-track to the top line minutes. If you slump, your form score will drop, which can lead to less trust from the coaching staff, time on the bench, or even a trip down to the AHL. You will also have to answer for poor stretches in post-game interviews and one-on-one meetings with staff. At the heart of our Be a Pro revamp is a new player-managed energy and development model. Every choice you make, whether it is how physical you play, how you train, or how much time you spend recovering, directly impacts your physical health, attribute growth, and long-term progression. Energy management is also tied to your ability to unlock and improve X factors. By spending energy in the right areas, you can earn X Factor points, meet the stat requirements to unlock new abilities, and then use those points to upgrade them over time. This system rewards for balancing performance, growth, and recovery so your player can reach their full potential. So are we finally not, it's not these stupid storylines, what their old storylines were in NHL? You couldn't do it. It took me forever to unlock an X Factor for Yager, and I still have like 3 of the worst ones. You have to play like 5-10 years of a Be a Pro season to get an X Factor, and I get it. Some of the other, whatever, I'm done. We're moving on. This system doesn't just simulate hockey, it simulates the life of being a pro. The pressure, the scrutiny, the management of your time and energy. Every career path is different, and NHL 26, how it unfolds, is entirely up to you. Your story, your legacy. More than anything, NHL 26 aims to give you a career with character. From your first World Juniors game to getting your name etched on the Stanley Cup, this year's Be a Pro journey gives you the tools to tell your story your way. Your personality now develops along 2 key paths: influential or confident. How you carry yourself in conversations, deal with the media, and lead in the locker room shapes which path you follow. Each path can unlock different dialogue options and opportunities. You will also earn trait points from playing, which can be used to unlock deeper levels in your skill tree. In some cases, you can even challenge your coach directly on lineup decisions or fight to avoid being sent down. That's pretty cool. Your career earnings also now play a larger role. Salary perks refresh monthly based on your actual signing salary, and you can choose whether to spend that cash on lifestyle upgrades or accept endorsement challenges that could boost your brand. The refreshed storytelling, energy system, and dynamic chapter structure come together to give you more control over how your player is remembered. Do you build trust with your coach or call him out? Do you grind it out in the minors or demand a trade in front of the media? These choices shape your legacy, and by the time you hang up your skates, you will know what the path you took was entirely your own. Be a Pro has been a community favorite for years, but it has been waiting for a true refresh. NHL 26 delivers that with a redesigned game loop. I don't like the way you worded that. A redesigned game loop. And that's the thing. I get that, at some point you can't put so much into a game that something's gonna be different for a year. For 365 days you play the game, for the multiple hours that you play the game, you're gonna get something different every time. I know that's impossible, but just in your marketing, don't say game loop. I don't like it. Deeper presentation and new systems that bring more accountability, choice, and long-term depth to your career. This year's updates come directly from the feedback you have shared, from meaningful story beats and the ability to be sent down, to the World Juniors, expanding cinematics, and a hub that gives you connected to every step of your journey. The goal is to make Be a Pro feel alive again, giving you more ways to shape your career and making sure the moments you earn on the ice feel worth it. Alright, so they gave us a good bit on their deep dive here on their website. It's a lot of it is, it's what we saw in the trailer, but they got down to the nitty-gritty of what we're going to be seeing. If I'm being completely honest, I am excited. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't excited. I'm excited just because it's finally something different. We finally get something different, and it's literally all that matters. That's all I care about. We have a new refreshed Be a Pro, which is perfect. We have a new hub. We got it's a whole bunch of stuff coming on. There's not really much for me to say or go over. I read it all out to you. I'm very excited for what's happening. I'm ready to at least just be a pro. I'm ready for Be a Pro. Ishul, that EA Sports Hockey League, I don't know if they're going to be doing a deep dive for that, because I don't expect there to be many changes, but who knows? We'll see. That's going to be it for this video, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy, and again, we got a good decent amount of changes coming to Be a Pro. Now the next thing is to basically just get the game and play it and see what it feels like. Hopefully you guys enjoyed again. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.